balanced team.
What do you think happens with McDavid, Craig? We've been speculating for a long time here about what his next deal might look like. MJ was on his last hit before he went on summer vacation saying if he was Connor McDavid's agent, he'd be saying maybe, hey, give me a 2-year deal, $16 million per, and I want to see what you guys do to put me in a position to win my cup. Obviously, he can sign for as many as 8 years. How do you see it ending up?
Well, number one, the salary cap is going up significantly over the next number of seasons. So players don't want to leave money on the table. If McDavid signs for an 8-year deal, and it's not for, I mean, the most he can sign for, I think, is $19 million, because that's what the cap will be when he signs it. He signs it this year. So if he signs for $19 million times 8 years, he's leaving money on the table. And I don't think that would be prudent. I don't think that would be wise. Connor McDavid wants to win. Connor McDavid, at the end of season availability, talked about, I want to win and I want to have a chance to win, and not just do it once. He wants the opportunity. So if I was looking at it and chatting with Connor McDavid, I would say, listen, you have great opportunity here. You can put management's feet to the fire. 2-year deal, and let's see what you got. Maybe he says it's a 4-year deal, and that takes a little bit of the heat. But if he only signs for 4, I would also go back and behind the scenes tell management 2 years into this contract, at the end of 2 years in this contract, you guys better have done your job, because if not, I'm gonna ask to be traded.
Greg, let's move over to player development. And I know you've talked a lot about the NCAA and Gavin McKenna signing with Penn State and the door that it opens, and maybe it's a little more gradual. I want to throw in there that new change that allows an NHL team to have one 19-year-old in the American Hockey League. How big a transition is that? Like, does it open up a big door? Like, how do you view this? How does it affect junior hockey?
Well, is that is there one 19-year-old that can play in the NHL now? Does that happen? I'm not aware of that.
No, this is the AHL.
No, but is that a new rule? Is that
the new? They're considering one 19-year-old player from each team allowed to play in the American Hockey League.
They're considering that.
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think they've been talking. I thought you had said, Jim, that was something that was passed. That's why I said I don't know.
It's in the works. I just want to know how you think it would affect junior hockey.
I think it would be stupid for that rule to be advanced. If you can't play in the NHL at 19 years old, the American Hockey League is harder to play in at 19 years old than you are to play in the NHL. It's got 3 tiers of players. It's got young players that are finding their way into pro hockey, that are trying to establish themselves, and you're playing against older players. Then you got that next group of players that are kind of moved out of that young players that are in a transition phase of their careers, trying to figure out, do I belong in this organization? Do I not? And then you have your older players. It's a hard league to play in when you're 19 years of age. I don't think it's the right thing to do if you're talking about development, Jim. But I know NHL teams love to say, oh, we can do a better job of developing by having our players play the American Hockey League. I don't believe in it. There's players that might be able to do it, but now that's 32 players, if we look at every 19-year-old playing the American Hockey League. And it's a hard league, and I don't think it's a league for 19-year-olds. There's the odd guy that might be able to do it and handle themselves, but I don't think it's the best thing for development.
Craig, in the circles you walk in, I know you're well connected in the junior hockey ranks in this country. How would you describe the feeling, about the state of things, given this door that's been opened with McKenna heading off to Penn State University on a ticket that is, reported to be in the $700,000 U.S. range? What are people saying, and what are people, kind of, hemming and hawing about in terms of the future of the current system?
Well, here's what I would say. Number one is Gavin McKenna is a unique case. Gavin McKenna is an outstanding player. He's dominated junior hockey, and so everybody should be careful about using Gavin McKenna as the poster player for what it is. The NCAA, with the ruling allowing CHL players to come and play in the NCAA after playing in CHL, is something that opens doors for everybody. That is a good, significant advancement. Now, there was a lot of players. There was the Toronto Maple Leafs assistant general manager, Brandon Predham, His son, Jack, pretty good player, was playing in Penticton. And the minute that ruling happened, Jack Tritton came and played for Kitchener. Is that bad for junior hockey? Is that bad that players that were in Junior A, in the USHL and in Canada's Junior A League came and played in the CHL? No, that's good. You're getting quality players coming and playing. Now, they might leave at 19 and they might go to the NCAA. That's okay. You're going to have other players that are going to come and play in the CHL because the NCAA has so many players that are committed that aren't ready for the NCAA. They went and played in Junior A. Now they're going to come and play in the CHL. And that's good. The CHL does an outstanding job of development. The NCAA does an outstanding job of development. Now all it does is allow players to consider it at different phases. You don't have to go play Junior A at 16 or 17 when you're not ready for the NCAA. You come and play in the CHL. And by doing that, you're going to help advance the level of talent in your leagues. Yeah, we're still in the infancy of this, and there's still a lot to be determined how it's going to shake out. Ben Kindle just signed his entry-level contract with the Pittsburgh Penguins, 11th overall. Braden Cooch just signed his entry-level contract with the Vancouver Canucks, 15th overall. So they can't go to the NCAA. And we're going to see some players like Gavin McKenna and Jackson Smith head off to the NCAA. But we also have seen players come here. Matthew Tkachuk said, I don't want to go to the NCAA. I want to play in London.
Right.
Patrick Kane said, I don't want to play in the NCAA. I want to play in London. This idea that there's going to be this mass exodus of players going in the NCAA, there was 33 18-year-olds that played in the NCAA last year. 33 out of 60 teams. And the NCAA coaches have continuously told me the same thing. A lot of these kids don't understand how hard the NCAA is. For the 20-year-olds, for a handful of 19-year-olds that want to go and they feel that that's the next step for them, okay, that's going to be an opportunity that's good for them. But for the vast majority of players playing in the CHL, they're not ready for the NCAA.
Craig, other than the Florida Panthers, who did well for you on Free Agent Frenzy Day?
You know, Jim, I'm going to be straightforward with you. I am past this idea of who did well on Free Agent Frenzy Day. Some of the teams that did really well are the teams that just sat back and kept their salary cap money. They're winners, the off-season winners, the summer winners, you know, and everything that goes with it. I mean, it's a question. It's the same thing. Well, who won the draft? Who are the winners and losers the day after the draft? Nah, you know what? We're going to watch the season unfold, and we're going to do it. Teams are trying to identify where they were short, and they tried to add some players. And some things you might go, geez, you know, that's interesting what they did. That's interesting what they didn't do. And I'm going to take my time with it because you don't win a damn thing in the summer. Yes,
the cup is awarded in the summer, but in June, and not after that until the following year. Craig, thanks very much.
Thank you, guys.